Cheltenham Festival is the highlight of the whole year. Because I'm not riding anymore doesn't mean to say I'm going to enjoy it any less. I'm no longer in the saddle, but I'm still in the race.
Fáilte ród agus muid ag caithfh súil chun cín ar éile rásaíochta Cheltenham, ceann de na himeachtaí sport Angla éireannacha is mó amíocht len Orling. Now, coming up in our Cheltenham Festival preview programme. Will the champion hurdle crown remain on this side of the Irish Sea for a 5th consecutive year? Having enjoyed his first Cheltenham success last autumn, jockey Roger Loughran now has his sights set on festival glory. And the greening of the Cotswolds, the ever-growing Irish presence at the Cheltenham Festival. But first, a look ahead to the Timico Cheltenham Gold Cup. It's a race that Willie Mullins has yet to win, while Gordon Elliott goes in search of back-to-back successes. It's every trainer's dream to win a Cheltenham Gold Cup, and in 2016 Don Cossack provided Gordon Elliott with one of the best days of his life, justifying race favouritism by powering up the Cheltenham Hill to land the ultimate prize for staying chasers.
And Don Cossack for Jigginstown, and Gordon Elliott and Brian Cooper will win the Timico Cheltenham Gold Cup of 2016. Jack Adam second for the second year running, Don Poley third.
Sadly, injury has since ended Don Cossack's career, and he's enjoying his retirement under the watchful eye of his grateful trainer.
You know, obviously this time last year we had to go with the pressure with this fella. You know, he was favoured, but thankfully he proved how good he was, and I know he's retired now, but he's retired as champion, and we'll be very lucky to have him.
Elliott has a couple of chances of retaining the prize this year with Don Poley and Outlander. Outlander was impressive in winning the Lexus Chase at Christmas, and his trainer thinks he will run a big race in what looks a wide open Gold Cup.
We've got Outlander, I suppose, and we've got Don Poley, but Outlander, I suppose you'd have to say, could be the pick of him. He's been unexposed, and hopefully he'll run well. But, you know, we said we'd freshen him up after the Lexus, so it's been the plan, and we're looking forward to running him, yeah, definitely.
Injury has also ruled out the exciting Thistlecrack. However, trainer Colin Tizzard has two very strong contenders in Q-Card and Native River. 11-year-old Q-Card looked to be travelling strongly under Paddy Brennan before falling at the third last in the race last year.
Looking back over for a few times we've watched it, you know, he was going as well as anything, if not better, and we wondered then 10 to 11 he might start, you know, time might catch up with him, but it doesn't look as though it has. There's a reason why he didn't run his race quite so well at Kempton, and he is, you know, he's as good as he's ever been at Ascot. A lovely prep race, and you take a lot of beating if he's like that.
While Native River, winner of the Hennessy Chase, the Welsh National and the Denman Chase this season, is a progressive 7-year-old, and Tizzard is eagerly looking forward to Friday's festival showpiece.
If you win a Hennessy and a Welsh National in the same season, you're a good horse anyway, but we don't have to ride him from 6 out, go 8 lanes clear and just hold on. You know, he's good enough, sit there to 2 out. Well, he can sit in front, he can just wait there, he can, and have his effort. 2 out. You would think he's got everything you want in a Gold Cup horse.
One man who has yet to win a Gold Cup but has finished second in the race for the past 4 years is Willie Mullins. The Irish champion trainer will be hoping it will be third time lucky for Jack Adam, who has chased home the winner in the past 2 seasons. Jack Adam is now 8 and will arrive at Cheltenham as fresh as paint.
The Irish Gold Cup was a little close to it this year, and we decided not to go there. You know, last year we probably didn't have a great preparation. He was young enough the year before. This is a fantastic, it could be a good opportunity, I think, for him. It's an open enough year, and I was very happy with the run in the Lexus. Things didn't go right for us. I got a lot more out of the Lexus than a lot of people gave him credit for, and he's in good order going across.
A lively outsider for this year's Gold Cup could well be Champagne West, who is the impressive winner of the Thyestes Chase off top weight, and his trainer feels that his new handicap mark of 166 puts him in with a decent chance.
Q-Card's probably one of the few over 170 but all the rest are in and around between 162, 168. So it's a lot of horses within £10 of each other. It makes it a very open race, very competitive race, and we'll need everything to go right for us on the day.
Sizing John finished second behind the Great Duvan on no fewer than 7 occasions, but stepping him up in trip has been the making of him.
Yeah, it seems to, and he seems to relax very well now, and because he's a great jumper, which is brilliant, and if he jumps well and relaxes there, I don't see the extra 2 furlongs being too much of a problem. I've been lucky enough to win a champion chase and a champion hurdle, and it'd be lovely to get a Gold Cup as well to go with it.
In essence, this Gold Cup has boiled down into a match between the Colin Tizzard pair and the cream of the staying chasing talent from this side of the Irish Sea. It seldom fails to provide a great spectacle, and this year should be no different.
Yeah, the Gold Cup this year, it's a hell of a race, as it always is. It's a pity we're missing Thistlecrack from the race. He was the really progressive novice chaser. He was favoured for the race before he was ruled out. But Colin Tizzard, his trainer, still has a strong hand with Q-Card on Native River. The Q-Card, he's an 11-year-old and he's a popular horse. He's short in the betting. Older horses just don't have a good record in the Gold Cup. I think he's opposable at a big price. I think the Irish have a strong hand. Champagne West was very good in winning the Thyeste's chase. Henry de Bromhead's horse on soft ground, he could be a big player in the race. But I think on better ground, Sergeant John could outrun his odds by a fair way. Jessica Harrington trains him. He was a 2-mile novice chaser and a 2-mile novice hurdler. He had very strong form with Duvan. Then on his penultimate run, he stepped up to 2.5 miles for the Kinloch Bray chase at Thurles. He stayed on really well that day to beat Sub-Lieutenant. And then last time here in the Irish Gold Cup, again, he stayed on well, stepped up to 3 miles for the first time. And look, he's got another 2.5 furlongs to go in the Gold Cup, but I think on better ground he could get it, and he's bred for it. He's 7 years old, he's still progressing, and I think he could go well at a decent price.
This year's Gold Cup looks a wide-open affair, and the Colin Tizzard pair of Q-Card and Native River have been vying for favouritism with William Hill since Thistlecrack was ruled out of the race. Jack Adams being the best backed of the Irish challengers, and he bids to make it 3rd time lucky after being runner-up in the last 2 seasons. And meanwhile, of the outsiders, we've seen significant support for Champagne West, and he'd be a big loser in our book. 14 of the last 16 winners of the Gold Cup could be found in the first 3 in the betting, so it's been kind for punters, and this trend looks set to continue this year.
With the last 2 winners, Annie Power and Faugheen, absent through injury, this year's Stan James Champion Hurdle looks wide open. Stephen Cullinan takes a look at the likely outcome of this year's contest.
Willie Mullins has trained 3 of the last 4 champion hurdle winners at the Cheltenham Festival, but this year fortune has not been on his side. Last year's champion hurdler Annie Power was ruled out through injury in January, and less than 2 weeks later came the news that the 2015 champion Faugheen would also miss the 4-day festival. It means this will be the first time in 7 years that Willie Mullins is not saddling the champion hurdle favourite.
Footpad ran a fantastic race against Petit Mouchoir in Leopardstown, so he goes there. Wicklow Brave hasn't had a run. He's been flat racing, hasn't had a run, but he's a course winner in Cheltenham and did it well on soft ground there, so he comes into the reckoning. I think he's improved since he last ran over hurdles.
Nicky Henderson is very well represented in Tuesday's race, with Brain Power, Bouveur Dare and twice the runner-up in the champion hurdle, My Tent or Yours.
This is the real wide open champion hurdle, isn't it? Normally the real, we've had, very obvious favourites or 2 or 3. This year you've got you've nearly got a blank sheet, and we're lucky to have. We need 3. 3 shots is better than 1. And Bouverdare, he's been, as you know, he was 3rd to Altior in the Supreme. I just thought we started novice chasing. He won his first 2. He was very good, but I just felt he'd still got more to give over hurdles, and the race at Sandown told us nothing except that he's in good form, because he beat 2 horses that he had to beat standing on his head, which he did, and he looked very good, and he's been in good form. If it was very soft ground, it certainly wouldn't worry him. I mean, that's the only difference with him, and certainly My Tent would want good ground. Brain Power, he's sort of come up a different road. He's come through the handicap route, But, you know, he's burst through that. He's gone out to the top of it. Now he has to come into a race like this, rated 163. So the handicap is sort of rating him as a champion hurdle prospect, and I hope he is.
For punters praying for another Irish winner of Tuesday's festival feature, then Petit Mouchoir perhaps offers the best hope. His trainer is certainly happy with what he's seen so far this season.
I think we're in a pretty good place. I'd say he's one of the few horses in the race that's won 2 Grade 1s going into it. You could possibly say he was a little bit may have cost himself a 3rd Grade 1 when he fell at the 3rd last in the Fighting Fifth hurdle at Newcastle. So he's had a pretty strong, you know, good run into it. He was visibly very impressive at Christmas. Probably not as impressive to the eye in the Irish Champion hurdle, but still he went and did it in a very quick time in 3:41. And I think he's as good a chance as any in it.
Throw in the current market leader Janwert, trained by Alan King, and while you mightn't have a vintage renewal of the champion hurdle, it's still a very hard one to call.
We'll have a few bob each way on horse and the Fox Hunters on Friday after the Gold Cup, trained in County Cork by a man called Trixie Barry. It's called As Sweet as a Nut. I think at the minute it's around 14-16 to 1. You won't go wrong with a tenner each way.
I think of all the horses going there, I think this year in the Gold Cup is Jack Adam. Because Willie's going there with him fresh this year. He's a very, very high-class horse, and a fresh Jack Adam is a very dangerous horse. He's, in my opinion, he's the winner of the Gold Cup this year.
Sean County's fallum now on the fringe. Yen Sean Gashka and Vinci Kacha Gustason and Winner Sean Rodkin and Lena. Captain Gwil on a hands of what's Cornor egg Jack Adam. Vroom Vroom Mag on the hands K August Yorkhill. So Shin on Yankee at Agom Dunvlincha.
All races are very competitive. I just think the one race maybe that the favourite stands out a bit is the Stairs Hurdle. You know what I mean, Harry? I think he's on the right side with the price. I think there's still a bit of value there with him.
Let's Dance is a mare that I think an enormous amount of. Second season novice. She'll either run in the Mare's Novice or the Neptune. I'd love to see her in the Neptune personally. I think getting the weight allowance and the triple suit as well, but she probably has enough speed for the shorter race. She's very, very good, I think.
Well, Dennis, we're here in Gordon Elliott's and he has Death Duty, a hot favourite for the Albert Bartlett. But I'm going to go with horse at a bigger price in that particular race, Pen Hill, trained by Willie Mullins. He won at Limerick at Christmas in very, very good style over 3 miles, and that was a revelation, that performance. I think if he jumps well enough, which is a proviso, I think he's a big chance at a big price.
Coming up after the break, Roger hoping a cappella hits the right note in the RSA chase.